back to the Blake's Craft Beer Podcast. My name is Blake Longfellow, and I hope you enjoyed the Craft Beer Summit panels. It was a fun blast, but I'm excited to get back to the normal podcasting with breweries. And I'm kicking off with a brand new brewery with two awesome guys. Please introduce yourself and tell me where we're at.
Well, I'm Taylor Dent. I'm the head brewer, brewmaster here at Depot Brewing Company in Morrow, Ohio.
And I'm Scott Tilford, founder and general manager.
Thank you guys for having me down. I'm glad we decided you just hit me up through New Year's, and we got this rolling pretty quickly. So
yeah, absolutely.
So,
thanks for coming. It's cool that you stopped in this weekend too.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was nice because January is such a interesting time period in beer. I mean, this whole time period is interesting, but just how dry January is more effective than I guess I imagined. And I really do try to go to I try to go to breweries all the time, but January I try to put a little more effort into it.
Yeah.
Especially since people like
it.
doing dry and stuff like that. Even though I put it on something on Facebook that just because you're doing dry January does not mean you can't go to a brewery that you had a really good food truck. I mean,
or mocktails
and stuff like that. There are other ways around supporting you guys in this climate of what craft beer is right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why more people don't make resolutions to drink more beer. We've been really pushing for that. That'd be
there's a bit of counter campaign needed. Yeah.
On my Untapped, I'm already up to 22 already this year, so I guess I'm already sailing.
Wow.
So. Well, it helps when I come to a brewery for the first time, never had their beers before. It kind of shoots me up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what led you guys into craft beer in the first place? Or your first introduction?
We have very different similar but different.
You start.
I start. So I worked at Procter & Gamble for 17 and a half years in marketing and market research, building some of the best brands in the world for Procter & Gamble. Loved my experience there, loved every second of it, but there was always an entrepreneurial itch. And fast forward to 2023, I was in Boston back and forth doing work for Gillette. And my wife, we lived in Anderson at the time. My wife said, we're moving to Mainville. We're moving up to Morrow, somewhere in that area, because her family was here and I was traveling a lot for work. And at first I was like, what? We're moving to where? Where's that? And, during that time, my dad got sick and my dad died. He was 64 years old. I was 42 at the time. And I just thought, hey, if there's only 20 years left on this planet for me, I want to do something more fulfilling. So in March of 23, I went to my wife and I said, hey, we're making this move. I'd like to also make this move an opportunity for us to do something and build something of our own. So in March of 23, I sat her down and we started planning, and the rest is kind of history, I suppose, at this point. But I turned to craft brewery, one, because I was a fan of drinking craft beer, especially during the heydays in Cincinnati when the Mad Trees and Rheingeist were launching. And my friend Brady worked with me at Procter & Gamble and launched Mad Tree while he was there. And I just remember the excitement around the industry at the time. And certainly it had its heyday 11, 15 years ago, whatever it was. But beyond just being a fan of it, I really liked what it did for community. And when we moved up here, I noticed an opportunity in the market for lack of such a presence. And so we wanted to bring that community hub to this community and accelerate its growth. So our mission, yes, it's making great beer and providing great service, but ultimately we hope to accelerate Morrow into a new future, making a mini Loveland, a mini Milford, something akin to that. And that's where we really spend all our efforts, and everything that we do here is aimed at doing that for me.
And for me, I unlike some others that homebrewed a lot beforehand, I certainly enjoyed, cooking, fermentation, food science things, made plenty of other alcoholic or fermented food and drinks at home. But I was working a desk job that was killing me slowly and didn't really want to do that anymore. So started at the brewing science program at Cincinnati State and went through that program quite slowly while working full time. And it was a great experience. Couldn't do any of this without it. Coming out of that, took over production at a small brewery, former brewery in town, and for about 14 months there, cut my teeth taking that over just out of school, and then while we were, getting all of Depot planned and built out, spent some time at Mad Tree with helped with the Oakley kitchen opening up, starting out there, and just getting ready to open up here. But I've enjoyed and plenty of different kinds of beer. And in my undergrad, it was whatever was free or cheap, but not enjoyable. I was the strange kid bringing Blue Moon to a barn party or something, and when everyone else had Busch Light. And just if I was going to be having something, I'd rather enjoy it more. Definitely quality over quantity. So being able to try to extend that to what I was doing as a profession was an easy switch.
So do you remember your first craft beer that said, hey, there's something here that I want to be part of this? Or
First craft beer ever?
Yes.
I think my first craft beer ever was Fat Tire. Before, when you couldn't get it past the Mississippi, I had a friend in Anderson Township. We worked at a restaurant, and we'd hang out, and he'd say, "Oh, you got to try this Fat Tire," and I think it must have been it.
That's probably close for me too, honestly. I mentioned Blue Moon, and it was before what it is now.
Before it became non-craft.
Yeah, before it is what it is. And it was a perfectly enjoyable beer, and enjoyed that quite a lot. And that led to liking Belgians a bit more, which earlier on. But yeah, honestly, Fat Tire really was, just coming out of college, an easy go-to as well.
That was back when they had shops, the drive-throughs that sold all the craft beers, and even before Jungle Gyms were,
Yeah, no, it'd be going and getting the 6-pack of something I hadn't had before from Kroger or something, and just trying out some different things. Not really picking favorites, but just exploring.
I kind of do miss that in craft beer a little bit some days, not because I mean, there's so many varieties still out there, but it's like varieties that have been hit over and over again. It's sometimes I do miss that, trying something new for the first time and stuff like that, which.
Yeah, absolutely. There's only been a few things in recent memory that I'm like, this is different and something new. The one that I wish I did get to try was that meat stout at South Ridge.
Yes, it was actually good. Yes.
Yeah, no,
I was able to get some of the meat stout.
Yeah, it's the strangest thing that I would absolutely try. And I'm for wacky stuff, and not for too many of them. Even spiced beers, not usually going for them. But there was the one at Narrow Path, a variation of their Mexican lager that was quite good and is there, but not too spicy. So it's fun finding those things where, as you say, there's not anything new under the sun anymore, for the most part, but it can be different enough to be worth trying to see how one place does it a little bit differently, and that's certainly enjoyable.
And I do really appreciate those breweries that do push that envelope once in a while. I know the market's not the easiest to navigate right now, but when you have that energy just to push something out that's different, I do appreciate those.
Yeah. Marketability is definitely a struggle on some of those. Certainly, of making something like that and making too much of it, and it's good and people are drinking it, but not everyone's drinking it and not fast enough, and then you got to hold on to it a bit. That's sort of the scary side of it on my side. Is making something fun and different, like the red rye saison made this last year. very good beer. Enjoyed it greatly. And most everyone that had a sip of it would order one. But seeing it on the board, it had a bunch of scary words for some people, and wasn't an easy go-to for trying something. So yeah, I do also tend to gravitate towards some of those things that are a little bit odd or different, and maybe just something that was fun for someone to try out making.
Yeah. When we're talking about, those seasonals, I was just at a bar at a trivia in Troy, and I saw they sell a pumpkin beer. I just cringed. I was like, you guys are going to be stuck on that for a while.
Yeah.
Because after a certain point, those just don't move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got through ours in a good pace, luckily. And I'm definitely moving up the timeline by a couple weeks this next year for some of those. I mean, a lot of places have their pumpkin beers out at like the end of August or something, and Oktoberfest types before that, even beginning of August. And I get it for sure in that wanting to get them out there and get them sold off so that you're not lagging on too long. So like we got our Christmas ale on, and it's fantastic, but and it'll still be relevant for some time. I think that we'll be able to get through that in a timely fashion before it's not fashionable anymore.
I mean, as long as it's cold, I think it'll help that.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have Christmas in July if we have to.
Yeah, it's going out by the end at that point. That's not acceptable.
All right, so let's get into the first beer, and we'll get into how you guys came up with it.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So the first got our Lincoln Was Here light lager, just starting off with a easy go-to. It's definitely our number one seller. I make it a little bit. It's definitely not a Pilsner. It's a little bit darker. It's got some more depth to it than a Pilsner. And it's fairly golden in colors. I do use flaked corn in it as well, so it all comes together to give a parent sweetness that is not a sweetness due to excess sugar. So it's still a light beer, 3.9%, and very easily drinkable, and gives all of those flavors of a full lager without being filling.
And everything we do here is an homage to Morrow or the surrounding area, and this one in particular pays tribute to Lincoln's visit in 1861 on the way to his inauguration. So when you have an old train station that was built in the 1840s, you got a lot of history, and we chose to celebrate it.
Yep.
No, it's a nice, easy drinking light lager. You can crush a few of these. It's not going to kill you, but it has a very nice flavor to it as well.
Yeah, and I tend to use a lot of German hops for the lagers, typical noble hops, and so it's just got that pleasant sort of slightly floral but mostly earthy spice note on there, just for it's like a 20-minute edition, so it's not too much, but it is there.
Mm-hmm. I love when I have craft light lagers in my fridge now, and I just had a party a couple of weeks ago, and I had them, and I had people trying. They're like, "Oh wow, light beer can taste that good."
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't have to taste like water.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, we have a full bar here, and we do keep on Miller Lite because as Alex had said in one of your recent podcasts, that in the area, a lot of people are just coming in asking for the Bud Light or something. So what do you have that's like Bud Light? It's like the top question. And so we point them at this because it is, and some of them will go for it. And but try to have the bartenders, if someone does order a Miller Lite that's like not a regular or local that they know, just go ahead and give them a sample of this along with it. It's like, here's this, and here's our light lager as well, just so you can give it a try.
And how often do you see that once they try yours? They're like, oh, I can.
If I had to guess, about 1 in 10. It's still not that.
I was thinking maybe it was better than that.
I don't think it is for a lot, but at least for some, they're definitely like. It's probably in that moment, don't see the conversion, And then I'm obviously not, I'm not out front all the time, so I get just glimpses of what's going on. But it's sort of planting a seed for wanting to try something else as well.
I do think in some of these more rural markets like we're in Morrow, it's a little bit different where people are still not as far on the craft beer journey. And we've acknowledged that. And that's why we offer the Miller Lights for the people that want to come in, because we're trying to have something for everybody here. Like, we're proud of the craft that we have, but we also want to bring people together in ways that Morrow hasn't in a long time. So something for everybody is how we choose to operate.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you started working on the project, did you always have this place in mind, like the train station? Or how did the train station come about?
Honestly, luck, fate, whatever you want to call it. So the idea literally started, like I said, in March of 23, is let's put a brewery in Morrow. And I knew Cellar Dweller existed at Valley Vineyards, but that's a little bit down the way. And they obviously focus more on wine and their steak dinners and things like that. So it literally was, let's put a brewery in Morrow. And it started then by looking at properties up here. And the only thing available was down the road, and it was off the beaten path. It was 5,000 square foot. It had a turnkey bar. It probably, the concept I had at the time when I first started looking, it was more of a dive bar kind of brewery. While I was conceptualizing that, I happened to be down the road at Fresh Tomorrow, which is a fresh farm to table restaurant here on Main Street in Morrow down the road, and overheard they're putting a brewery in the old train station. I said, "What do you mean they're putting a brewery in the old train station?" I called my realtor immediately and said, "What's going on with this? Like, we want to put a brewery in Morrow. The train station would be the best place to put a brewery." "Oh, I don't know. It's not for sale." And so, well, who owns it? And that's when we found our way to the Village. And this was around July of 23. And we found out that the Village was having a pitch competition, Shark Tank style, with several groups that were interested in putting a brewery or a tap room here at the Depot. And so from July to October, we had to go into council meetings and pitch to them on why our plan was the best. And by October, we won that pitch and then negotiated with them until July for the contract on the building, and then started building in December of 24 and opened in June of 25. So we knew the place, but a bit of luck to get to where we got, and we couldn't be more fortunate because, especially as a brand builder coming where I came from, becoming the owner of a building like this that has the history that it has, and it once brought people together from all over. That's what craft breweries do now, and we're celebrating that and leaning into it.
So what was the building like when you first got it?
Oh, it was a wreck.
Remember the first day we met and I brought you out here? You were like, "What am I doing?"
Yeah, this guy's nuts. But next, I came out here February of 24 and came in. It was freezing in here, and it was just all torn out. Various build and demolition in place. Wires and ducting and all that everywhere. It had not been used in a long time, but altogether, like all of the beams are like whole beams. There's no inner supporting walls or structure, and they were intact. The exterior is in pretty good shape. Just a couple roof panels needing to be replaced and things like that. So the old it had good bones, statement was true. It's held up well, but just absolutely needed to be gutted inside all the way down to subfloor, and so it was a long process of getting it all up to shape and working with the contractors and builders to get the floor poured and walls built out, and much needed insulation, obviously, and all of that. So, but it was definitely an almost horror movie setting at night on the inside.
But once it started coming together, it had to be cool though. It was like, oh wow, this is coming together nice.
Yeah, it was cool. We just had just put out a little summary, like slideshow video of some of the occurrings of this last year, and seeing that transition from what it was to what it is now is cool to see all at once. And Scott would send me plenty of pictures of updates in the building as it's going on, and videos of different processes. And it was a slog in the building of it, but seeing it all at once, can really see how much it took and how far it's come. So.
Well, it's a bit surreal. I mean, we talk about March of 23 saying, let's put a brewery in Morrow, to now being here and being open for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm like, how did we even get here?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what this building was to what it is now, I mean, it's been crazy. And thank you to all the partners that helped us get it to where it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So your brewing equipment, you showed me a little before. Was it used, or do you buy brand new, or?
It's about half and half, honestly. So the brew house, HLT, Bright Tank, and the 2 7-barrel tanks are all new from SS Brewtech. It's their 3.5 barrel nano brew house. It's all electric. Sweet little thing. It falls between amateur brewer with way too much space and money, and about the smallest size of like automated integrated professional. Because obviously some places have done very well with smaller systems that are very manual. But this one's got, a pipe tree in the middle and an integral pump, touch controls, things like that. It's pretty sweet rig. But we got some other things. Our single batch tanks for used from storage elsewhere, and keg washer, some stuff like that. So definitely tried to make the most of it without making a Frankenstein mess back there of cobbled together things. Definitely tried not to compromise where it wasn't worth it.
So we're getting close to your opening day. Were you guys getting nervous on stuff, or were you guys excited or just ready to go when you finally opened up?
I'll speak for myself, and then you can speak for you. But I was ready to open. It was. I think with the day we opened, we just got the occupancy letter, and we said, should we do this? And we did it.
Yeah.
So the last couple of weeks, it was just waiting on that occupancy. So we were ready to go. Taylor had started here March 10th of 2025. So we had started putting the equipment up and running and getting it together and started to brew. So I was ready 6 months before that.
Oh yeah. No, we were, the plan was certainly delayed enough as it was. So we were certainly eager to get started and open. Dad definitely was nervous, of all this beer that we made, and hoping that people liked it and all that. Like, I could know for myself how good it was to me is near objectively as someone can do of their own thing. And I'll be the most critical of my own work than anyone, but it's still not the same as going ahead and opening it up and having people come in and, pay for it. So yeah, definitely nervous, but more excited.
So what was opening day like?
Opening day, I mean, so we had our, June 20th is like our soft open, and we were still just sort of figuring out just some final fit of pieces, and also the lagers weren't ready yet, so it had, ales and seltzer on, and then we had done collaborations with a number of places around. But the lagers weren't ready. And so I really wanted those to be done before a grand open, and just having the full taps, all the taps filled and ready to go, and just having full confidence and training and everyone ready for it. And so July 12th is our grand open. And that
was nuts.
That was nuts. Yeah, that was
in a good way.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll beat the numbers for that day on our anniversary this year. But it would be a tough battle to do that.
So the city came out for you guys when you jumped.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember we called it, grand opening, all aboard, and boy, did people come all aboard, and they came out in droves, and we had live music, and it was just great to see everyone come out and rally around us.
Yeah, no, that was a crazy day.
That's
Sure.
cool that your community really supported that because they had to feel good. Hey, we're gonna have our own brewery in town. I don't have to drive. I'm not even sure what your closest brewery is.
Cartridge.
Okay.
Yeah, Cartridge then Sonder would be.
Okay. So, but still, it's pretty still closer.
Well,
compared
and
to-
Cellar Dweller.
Yeah.
So, all right. What's next?
Up next is a new one. Just put it on today. It's Alpine Ski. It's a winter wheat. So it's got a lot of the good soft wheat notes, decent caramel, and then just a touch of roast for color and a bit of complexity.
And this one's named after, there used to be a ski resort in Morrow, believe it or not, Alpine Ski Lodge. And it's now the Woodlands neighborhood, but from sometime in the 60s to the 70s, there was a ski lodge, and story has it that Dolly Parton almost played there. So people would go ski, but it also had the lodge where you could stay, and it had a pool. And again, everything we do ties back to that community, which we just talked about being so important.
No, it's nice. Nice flavors.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I was upset that it had to hang out for so long. Sort of trying to get through a couple of styles, so it was just ready to be kegged, and now it's here. And I think it's probably one of my favorites now. Honestly, really like it.
So when you're opening a brewery, you mentioned there was another brewery here, but opening a brewery and more, and when you're trying to work on your beer styles, how did you guys navigate? Okay, how far in between do we want to go with our beer styles?
Yeah, so we've got 12 taps, and it's more a function of cooler space than anything. So like I said, we get about 6 or 7 kegs off of a single run, and then I usually double batch the lagers because they take twice as long. And we've got, can fit maybe 85 to 90 kegs quite uncomfortably in the cooler. So between all of that and just running the math on planning everything out, landed on 12 taps for being able to keep up with the quantity of each beer and the production schedule needed to keep up with that quantity, and then how much we can fit in the space. So then between the 12 taps, try to keep something that anyone can point at and be like, I like that kind of beer. And so there will be some styles that span a couple of those categories for someone, or just distinctly what they are. So we've got 5 mainstays, I think the light lager, IPA, stout, amber ale, and then the hard seltzer that we serve plain, and then we have flavor pumps at the bar for a cordial for it. And then might be adding the Ghosts Among Us onto that regular lineup. It's very good, and it's been well received. And then we keep a cider on from Tin Cap up in Wilmington as well. So those tie up, over half with if we add the ghosts on, and then the others are rotating through for seasonally available things. And then I told Scott that I just want to have like 1 to 2 taps I can play with, just do something a little bit different, make something a little bit not necessarily special but crafty, and experiment a little bit.
One of the beauty of our 3.5 barrel system is we're very nimble and agile, so we can pump out a bunch of different varieties and not have a ton of stock wasted on them, right?
Yeah, and that's 6 tanks. It's 6 tanks and a bright tank as well. So instead of making, the idea wasn't making a lot of one thing at a time, but to be able to make things repetitively, to narrow in the recipes, to keep it fresh and all that. So not trying to keep. And that's kind of why I was going on about trying to make sure things don't stay on too long, is want to just keep up the rotation, keep things fresh, and have it be as good as possible for people to enjoy.
And since we've opened, we've done 25 different styles of beers on that system.
Okay.
And that's been nice to generate newness for people and give them a breadth of variety, not just focus overly on one style. And what I love about what Taylor does is everything's drinkable. It's just super drinkable. I mean, you go to some places and they go too far one way or the other, and I think everything here is nice and balanced. And
yeah, I haven't gone to a far extreme so far. No pastry stouts or anything. So
No barrel age yet?
No
Kidding.
barrel
I'm
age
kidding.
yet. No.
space is needed for that.
Yeah, can we keep it at your house? Like
You got that
The caboose.
yeah, put the caboose.
It's been talked.
Yeah, but it's the furthest out things were the red rye saison I mentioned, and then did a Belgian triple that was dangerous and delicious. But those two for Belgians in particular in the area and somewhat in general. I'm biased because I love Belgians, but those don't move as quickly, and especially if they're a higher ABV. We're selling a 10 ounce of a triple that further extends how long it takes for them to sell too. But so haven't gone too far in the extremes yet, but certainly want to start getting at that. I wanted to build up a bit more base and not to scare anyone away or have people that are curious about craft beer come in and be like, well, that sounds insane. These guys are just going all out.
So no meat stout here yet.
I'm curious. I need to talk with Alex about that.
Alex did a good job. It was good.
I need to talk with Alex about that. But
we might market it differently. I don't know. Maybe the Slim Jim style.
Oh my
God! What do you think about that?
I'll have to talk that one through.
Talk about you guys opened up and Alex up in Southbridge about 30 minutes from here. You guys both opened up about the same time.
We opened the same day.
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
Not intentionally.
Okay.
Just
It's just how it worked out.
Not that you're not the same brewery, but you guys are mirroring the same beer styles on how you guys are going for approachable. You're not going for extremes. You're going for stuff that people want to drink, especially maybe in the areas where they might never had a brewery before one did, but just in that realm of trying to keep people, hey, okay, I can drink that. That's fine.
I think it comes back to the marketplace and who we're ultimately catering towards and trying to understand your consumer. And I don't think here we're ready for all the hazies and the milks and the this and the that.
Although we got plenty of people. We keep a suggestion bucket, and people put stuff in there, and there have been certainly people asking for such things. But it's just like I've said with people were asking for sours for a long time, and I made one, and we had a collab for one to start as well. But sometimes it's the people that want the things that are more crafty and out there are just a little louder than everyone else is sort of my thought that, I can fulfill that. And unless we got a comprehensive population survey, it might just be that I'm fulfilling that for a couple people. And I'd love for those people to find exactly what they want here, but I can't necessarily just make it for them. And so that's, a difficult choice on there. So that's where finding things like the smoked porter that we have coming up next year, that it's smoked, it's smoky, but it's not too much. It's not like a extremely peated scotch or anything that will turn some people off. It's just there as a note. It's something for someone to try if they already like darker beers, and to not instantly fill them with regret on a sip of it. So it's definitely want to ease people in if they're not necessarily familiar with craft beers and want to avoid any regret of buying a pint of something that they hate. So making everything as approachable as possible is really my goal.
I mean, I can't remember seven, like going to your brewery 7 back in time and not seeing a hazy is like back in time, and it's a cool history, because I do like my hazies from time again, but hazies is hazy, and a lot of them has become like the same old.
Mm-hmm.
So it's refreshing to come and see a board that doesn't have a hazy, and it's back. I know we'll get to eventually with Ghost, but it's like it's the IPAs I grew up drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember like what was it, Husky IPA or Zombie Dust, when you couldn't even, if you found it, if you bought it, and now it's like Zombie Dust is there now all the time. It's people don't realize what
it's
that
everyone
used to
now.
be like.
I remember first time I tried a New England IPA, I was horrified. It was, and looking back at it, it was not a good one. So like there are plenty that I've had that have been good, and that was not a good one. No idea whose it was, and probably wouldn't say anyway. But just like the extreme pungency, cattiness of that style, and the musky fruit of that style was just an absolute shock. And so, someone not knowing what a New England IPA was and trying that, it's just like taking a sip of what you think is water and it's actually Sprite. It's not bad, it's just startling.
Now I want to say on hazy, there are some people out there that there's some new hops coming out. We're making the hazies. I think hazies are getting better in taste wise.
Yeah.
John Luce at Loose Ends, he's doing new hazies, and he has these new
He does a great job.
Yeah, which you guys actually did one.
Yeah, with him.
Yes.
Yeah, the Drive Hope.
That's what I was going to say, is not to say we haven't done hazy, and I think we've done it well. One of our first beers was a collab with BC's called Hazy Junction. It was well received. I think to this day it was one of our best sellers, per day.
Yeah, that sold pretty quick.
We did Trail Trancer, which was our hazy, which was well received, and then we did that Drive Hope for Suicide Prevention, which is a great collaboration with Loose Ends and other local breweries, including Southridge, to promote a good cause and make good beer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed that beer a lot. So, all right, I actually had this beer Saturday, the Private Mullins.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy. I do love smoked beers.
But yeah, so this is our smoked American porter. Pretty typical porter base, but with the addition of a good amount of beechwood smoked malt from Germany. What's funny was that I wrote the recipe for a bit more of the smoked malt than I had on hand, not realizing. So I was like, well, I guess we're just going to go with the whole bag and call it. And I'm glad that worked out that way, because like I said, it's just the right amount of smoke to be there and be flavorful without tasting like a fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is usually my experience with smoke. So I like this one because it's not too crazy. But this one's cool too because it's named after the last American World War II soldier to die in the war. Was from Morrow and buried in Morrow. So Private Odell Mullins.
Okay. No, I mean, and like I agree. The smoke's here, but it's not overpowering. It's not hitting you overhead. It's nice, especially for this area that might never ever had a smoked beer before. This is probably a good starter.
Yeah, and I haven't had too many. I mean, I enjoy Rausch beer and have had a few. So, and some of those get pretty smoky, but they definitely have found a way to do it well. And I honestly feel they probably used almost the exact same smoke malt that I did, because it's the Weyermann, German malt, very popular and well used, rather than oak. Oak can be pretty powerful, which is why it's used in bourbon and other things, and for smoking meats and things. But this beechwood definitely is just a little bit less. It's still got a lot of good flavored. Some people, not necessarily with this one, somewhat ironically, but have asked, with the stout, if if I'd put bacon in it from that sort of
It's our meat.
flavor.
It's our meat.
Yeah. And no, I don't put bacon in it. But I can see where they're coming from, and with this one too, it just has a lot of those.
That's something you could do that I don't think anyone's done yet.
A bacon
But,
beer.
Yeah,
Someone has to have done a bacon beer.
Let's go.
Oh my god!
I'll be here the day it releases. She's just telling me when and where.
I'll have to dose a keg or something. There's no way I'm making a full run of
You
bacon
heard it here
beer.
first. Depot Brewing is bringing a bacon
third,
beer.
I used mustard in a beer last year, so
Yeah,
I was
no,
like,
that's why.
Okay, Kelly.
You think a hot dog beer would work?
I don't know.
That sounds way worse.
Hot dog water.
That sounds no. Yeah, that's a veto on
I'm
my
kidding.
end.
I've had some beers that taste like hot water.
Oh yeah, no joke. But yeah, it's it's a nice little intro. So there have been plenty of people that said I don't really like smoked beers, but they were curious and tried it, and they've liked it. I've prided myself on here somewhat, but more so where I was before of people that don't like beer. It was employees as well. They're like, I don't really like beer, but then they try it and they like what I was making, and it's more coming back to what I said of wanting to make sure it was all very approachable. It wasn't just too extreme, but without being bland. It can still be flavorful, but not punching you in the face. And so that's where I'm aiming right now.
Because last year when I took my trip to Cleveland I was shocked on how many breweries were doing alt beer, smoked alt beer.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh wow,
Yeah,
must be a thing up there, and they were great.
Yeah.
And so you were just seeing smoked beer a little more now. So
Mm-hmm.
that excites me. Is there a certain other styles you would love to play with?
I definitely want to make, and it's going to seem a little hypocritical after what I've been saying, but I really would love to make a barley wine. It's such a big, specific beer that I enjoy greatly, and there'd be plenty of craft beer enthusiasts that would love that, as Blake waves his hand at me. Would love to see a barley wine.
Bacon barley wine?
No. But,
shot down.
Yeah, shot down right away. It's already hard enough to sell. We don't need to don't need to put bacon in it.
I don't understand why, because barley wines are so. I
so good.
get part of it's because they're strong. I get it.
Yeah,
but they're so good.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the other thing is that, like, I try to make sure, and it's back to the approachability, that all of my beers finish. Yeah, they're like dry or semi-dry, and it's so that it's not too filling. You can enjoy more than one. Even the stout, it's we sold a lot of those in the summer, which was surprising because didn't expect that to sell so much so quickly. But I attribute it to that you could drink multiples. Like, Guinness is one of my favorite beers, and it's because you can drink it like water. It's just so good and flavorful without being filling. And so barley wine would be a challenge in that way. That would be one that I think I would not succeed in achieving that goal of even a semi-dry finish on a barley wine. So much sugar in there. But such a good style.
is there a certain style you would love for him to try?
I always went back to the IPAs. Could we do a triple? I'd be for a triple.
IPA?
Westside Brewing does a great triple. I've always liked. What's it called?
Forget.
I don't even think that's an acknowledged style. I think that's made up. But I guess it's just imperial still at that point. Either way, it's all made up anyway.
But no, I mean, beyond that,
Triples are good.
It's in
or
there.
like a West Coast style.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, I haven't made a West Coast yet, and a couple of the bartenders are upset with me about that. I personally don't enjoy that flavor, but it's not about what I enjoy. It's about what other people want.
but yeah, I mean, again, we've made 25 different styles.
Yeah,
It's hard. I'd love to do a barrel aged something at some point. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that one out. So, yeah, barrel aged.
If I take it home, age it, I'll bring it right back. I promise.
Yeah, perfect.
Deal.
Correct. Huh. Wow, half of it's gone away. That's weird.
The Blake chair.
Yep.
No, but even though with the West Coast styles now, they're not like they used to. I mean, I think some of the West Coast styles are coming out now taste better than they did because they're still getting the bitter, but it's not the overpower.
Yeah, and that's it. It's that just bitterness for the sake of bitterness is just it's not it. You know.
I think that's what her craft beer. I think it still hurts to a extent this day. Whereas all you guys do make IPAs, it's penny, and I'm like, that's been long 10 years gone.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, no one wants to drink Pine Sol, and I get that fully, and I try to avoid that. So, like, I made a concession with the 49 lots. It was definitely a more, malty, and there was plenty of hop flavor in there, but the malt was significant in a traditional American IPA, but it lightened up the malt flavor and added in some, Cascade for some of that typical, piney hop flavor that people were expecting when they ordered it. And so that's already evolved somewhat from when we opened to meet the market's expectations.
And I was just at a brewery a couple of weeks ago, and they used Centennial in their black IPA. I was like, oh, wow. Centennial is just not a hop you hear a lot anymore, but it's cool to hear that brand back and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
maybe I'm getting old, and I just give them nostalgia and some of the hops. But
you look a lot younger than me, and he's talking about being old. I don't know.
Yeah, well.
I've had a lot of beer, right?
There we go.
Or what was it, like the Warrior hop you used to use and stuff like that?
Yeah, but...
have you thought of a black IPA?
I have not. I mean, I think most black IPAs are stouts that got messed up and then turned into a black IPA. But... it's once again coming back to that 12 taps. Got to be careful about how many darker beers I got on at once, because that'll throw some people if there's too much, and then if they crowd away from the dark beers, then they drain the other ones, more quickly and adjust and affect that production schedule and planning. So it's definitely been a careful balance. Not opposed to them. I'm definitely more on the lager side as far as my preferences go. So thinking of new and exciting IPAs to put on, pretty much need to ask people what it is that they want and then try to fit that in. It's not because
you mentioned off here you're going to do a double bock.
Yep, got the Doppelbock, brewing that up tomorrow, and so that'll be fun. That'll be a new style for me altogether in the professional setting. Missed the season twice at the last spot, and it just didn't time out well for being able to make those. So that'll be a new one, but it's a lager, so I'll take it. I think I'm going to enjoy that mightily.
So craft beer keeps evolving. So what are things you're liking in craft beer, and what are some things you're not?
As far as I don't have strong preferences of it overall, and that may be partially because I prefer lagers and they don't really change that much. So I don't see, as far as actual production and style changes in how certain styles are being made, and the preference of flavors that are being imposed on those as much. So more on the business side of it, obviously it's been in decline. That's not a surprise or secret or anything. And I'm sure the economy right now has a lot to do with that, more so than the beer itself. It's not like the beer is getting worse, just everyone's deciding, what to spend money on more particularly. But I think that some of it is a bit of, let's say, some conglomeration of craft. A lot of the purchases of some smaller places. Obviously, if somewhere is not doing well and they find themselves in the unfortunate position of needing to sell to a bigger company, then that's what they had to do, and they'll go on there. But we've seen certainly that a good number of the products from that company, their quality decreases almost instantly, and that's no good. And then so it's just like I mentioned, Blue Moon earlier. I used to love that beer. I would not drink it anymore, and I don't mind saying it due to their ownership. It's not what it used to be, and that's happened with a lot of other things, and it's a dilution of the market. So it's the whole micro versus macro aspect of craft brewing. Whereas you've got bigger bigger microbreweries, or not even microbreweries, but bigger craft brewers like Sam Adams still fits that category according to pretty well everyone's measure, even though they are quite large. They still hold to themselves and are accountable to themselves in that way, and care about what they're doing, as opposed to wider spread domestics or groups that are buying up all of these spots from everywhere and then telling them how to do things, and then trying to, as whatever investors are leading that charge would say, they're trying to break into that market, when in fact they're just sort of making their own side market of less good craft beer. So that localization is really what's going to be a counter to that.
And that's what excites me, and I think where it's evolving to, and what we're certainly trying to do, is beyond the craft and making good beer, it's also about the experience that you give your patrons. You could open a brewery 15 years ago and people would have come because it was a craft brewery. It doesn't exist anymore. I think the destination days are gone, and certainly some exist, but you're really creating a holistic experience, from the beer to the service to the events that you have, and bringing people together in your community more than you ever have been, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure, that sounds very familiar from just a few weeks ago.
No, but I definitely feel like that. And I think it's a good pivot, good or bad, on craft beer, on how it's becoming more community focused. Mm-hmm. Which, if you look at some of the area, I mean, yes, Mad Tree and Rhine Guys, Workway, and all of them are destination breweries now. But back then, when they started, if you look at the areas where they started at to what they are now, especially like Mad Tree and the 2.0, it's a whirlwind on what that used to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like craft breweries still can be that center point in the community, and the community can grow from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
I think that's one thing. I think that's one of your goals here.
Absolutely,
is to help the area.
Yeah, that's probably number one, honestly, is what it is, and trying to make Morrow a destination, but not.
Because to be honest, I only came here for the brewery. I didn't even know this brewery, what Morrow existed, until you guys said.
Yeah,
and it's crazy because there are we have some cool stuff here that people just don't know about. Yeah. We have a music festival in the summer every June or July, whatever it is. Todd's Fork Revival, 3-day music festival, bluegrass, country. It's great. We got the Little Miami River with canoeing and kayaking, and we got some great restaurants in town with Miranda's and Fresh Tomorrow. So it's a diamond in the rough, and that's what attracted us here.
Yeah, I mean, we got the bike path 15 feet from the door.
And that was not a shot on your town. It's just being honest. But once because you guys are also on the Ohio on Tap Passport, I was just curious when I was like, I didn't realize you were that close to Cartridge and stuff like that, because I'm a Kings Island season pass holder. I mean.
Yeah.
Now this could be a place for me to stop by.
Yeah.
And I mean, I live down in Cincinnati. Yeah, and so it's a bit of a drive for me coming out, as it was when Mets got up here before, and Main Street already looks much different than it was then. There were not many people driving through and parking to go and do things, and whether they're coming to us or to some other spots, just the traffic is has definitely increased since we've opened, and we're hoping to just encourage more businesses to open around here and to create a center point and focus for not just bringing people in from out and around, but just the village itself.
And it's happening, as he says, but I firmly believe our mission is not to just bring people to Depot and try our product and have our service, but bring people to Morrow.
Yeah.
If we're not doing it, who else is doing it? And we take that as our responsibility.
Alrighty.
My favorite.
Let's get the ghosts.
Yeah,
My
I got
favorite.
Ghosts Among Us. It's our double IPA.
So is this place haunted?
There are stories of that. We did have ghost hunters come in before we opened, and they
really?
said they talked to spirits. But there are 2 known deaths on the property, not to scare anybody away, but a mailman died on the railroad trying to put the mail out, and whatever happened.
And then accident on the turnstile.
in the back. So there's stories of that, and then there's supposedly a girl that walks up and down Main Street in a dress. Now I'll tell you,
I didn't hear that one.
we're here a lot, and I've not seen anything, but it's still pretty cool to think about all the ethereal around here.
Yeah.
I watched Supernatural. Don't pick her up.
No, do not. So double IPA, 8.6%, and but it's people that drink IPAs and bigger beers, they are surprised that it is that high because it's just balanced and smooth. I tend to prefer more citrusy, fruity, or the more noble hops. So it's got a bit of that citrus and tropical combo there for some softer hop notes that are still very apparent. So yeah, very much enjoy it.
So did I hit the nail on the head where that beer name came from?
You did.
Yeah,
you got
absolutely.
Okay. Because I was like, because at first when I ordered, because I know I had it Saturday, but I was like, why Ghost? And now, yeah.
Yeah, now we put that picture at the end of the hallway there of a little girl in a dress holding a cane. It's a little rough, put it there quite intentionally. It's
a little nod to Ghosts Among
yeah,
Us. So
every little spooky thing at the end of the
every
hallway.
piece of art in here, every artifact in here is curated to the degree that we can. But that one down the hall, yeah, some people might say, "Oh, that's creepy," but it's definitely a nod to this beer and the people that came before us.
Yeah.
What's one of the craziest stories you've heard about this place?
I mean, the deaths are up there.
Yeah, those are definitely up there. They were definitely a little gruesome for those.
I'm trying to think what else was crazy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I've heard much other crazy stories about this place in general.
About the building itself, yeah.
I mean, we did metal detecting when we pulled the floors up, and we found a bullet that we think is from World War I or World War II. So it's kind of cool to think about maybe some soldier who got a bullet from the cartridge factory down the way going wherever he was going.
308 cartridge.
Found some other cans and things like that, some old luggage tickets, but gosh, crazy. I don't know. I mean,
And I wonder if cartridge is haunted too, since it was.
there's no way that if there's a thing
that's-
such as haunting, that place is haunted.
I mean, in a building that made explosive ordnance
And blew up at one point.
Yeah.
and blew up. Yeah, surely. And maybe that's why there's that one undeveloped section right on the road. This one, don't bother with that.
Yeah. So, honestly, we're talking January, but you're coming up on your anniversary. Any big things on your anniversary you already planning on?
Oh goodness.
I mean, we're going to have a 1-year anniversary celebration that hopefully tops our grand opening. I think it's leaning into more of the stuff that we've been doing more community-centric stuff, more for charity, more to-go options. We've been driving to go recently, more distribution. We've just started to distribute. And that's what's been amazing is we're just learning every day what works in this market, what works for us, and trying to figure out. So if anything, it'll be continuing to learn and grow and do some of the things we've been doing well and expand more into the areas that we can do even better at for this community.
Yeah. So hopefully, and by distribute, we're distributing kegs to restaurants and bars around, trying to get the name out a bit and build some partnerships. Don't have any space for canning or bottling, unfortunately. But so hopefully by the time the anniversary comes around, we'll have spread the name around a bit more, and people start to follow us and be able to see that coming. So we've got quite the turnout.
So you better be here for our 1-year anniversary. How about that?
So you're going to have to split time between
It's all right.
us and Southbridge.
It's not a bad drive at all.
No.
I was going to say, it's just 20 miles down the road.
It's not horrible.
But he can come for our grand opening 1-year anniversary.
We'll honestly just have to pick what day it is that we're doing. Honestly, I guess we kind of got 2 days to pick from.
So we have 2 parties.
So is distribution, because you have the space, out of that realm of possibility, or is that something you guys
not in this location?
Okay.
Honestly, it's the closest thing that we could do would be a canning truck, coming in, but for
even then, it'd probably sell the majority of it through the tap room.
Yeah, it's for the scale of I designed the production scale for taproom sales, and selling kegs outside was ancillary to that, and certainly a possibility in the planning phase, and something that we've realized we can do after getting through 6 months of production and sales. We'll see in the summer, when things start to pick up, how that shakes out, and that's going to be a matter of planning. But overall, just the time, the space, the materials, everything needed for canning, relative to the profit at our size and scale, was just not really economical. So it would be a matter of calling in a canning truck and then being able to have all of the bodies and tops and to do that all, so that it's not something that we're storing all of these cans for, and just come in, do a run, and be done with it. But then that's going to cut into that overhead even more, for them to come and do it.
The growlers have been great.
Growlers have been great.
We introduced those 4, 5, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I pushed for, even over crowlers. I'm not a fan of crowlers for the same reason, that you got to store all those can bodies. If you got a dent in one, you can't use it anymore. So, got to just growlers are easy, pretty durable. It's 4 beers sold out the door, and it's something that people can share pretty easily with someone, and then bring back, and they're more eco-friendly as well, we'll say. So definitely pushing for growler sales, and we've got them on hand now, so it's a nice compromise.
So what's the most proud moment so far in your young running here?
Proud moment so far. I mean, opening the grand open was definitely.
It's hard to not be proud about that.
Beat that. That was a crazy good day, and luckily I didn't even have to work it. I just got to sit around and enjoy it.
For me, the one comes to mind, and I'll get to that in a second. But in general, what makes me most proud is when people come in and say, "Thank you for doing this in Morrow."
Oh yeah,
you could have done this anywhere, and you did it here, and you're helping us build this community. And just the other day, someone came in and thanked me, and I'm like, thank you. You paid for our product. But so that's surreal to me, and something that gives me goosebumps every time someone comes in and says that. We did have a night recently where the power went out.
Yeah.
And I think this was a great moment, but power went out. It was me, my taproom manager, Will, and a bartender. And we were all sitting here like, well, what do we do? And twiddling our thumbs. And
it was trivia night.
It was trivia night. Someone shows up and they sit down in the dark and they say, oh, you guys still having trivia? We look at each other like, yeah, well, sure, we're having trivia. 6 to 8 tables showed up. We had trivia in the dark. We had headlamps on, put a lamp in the back.
Yeah.
And we did our thing, and the community showed up for it. So, I mean, I think that, again, people thanking us. And
did the little girl show up? I'm kidding. That would be a perfect time.
No, not that
I didn't see her.
Yeah. But and it's I think that it's always fun to see that we've got regulars
we have regulars that come in and come in a good amount, and being able to recognize regulars coming in is great. And then similarly, we still have plenty of people that come in that haven't been here before and decided to stop by, and so this, between those two, it's very gratifying to see people either wanting to stop in and try us out or coming back after having already been here.
Well, I appreciate your time and inviting me down here.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be back soon, and thank you for awesome beers, and can't wait to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for
Cheers.
coming.
Cheers.
Awesome.
All right.
Man, I got